I cannot stress enough how much I hate Stephanie White. Like, is not one of these things where it's like, oh, you're like I think she's a sabotaging Caitlyn, all this stuff. Like, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far. Albeit, if you are someone that's gone that far, I am not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you. Um, I think trying to believe that someone is a good person is not a bad mentality to have towards things. But I will stand by this. I hate her. I fucking hate her. And if you guys agree, subscribe. We are trying to get to 60,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And look, I'm not as extreme as Venom, but like that man has enough evidence that his points, like the amount of people that have called him every name under the sun, I'm like, he has enough evidence for every one of his points that you're like, okay, even if you don't agree with them, he's clearly has his reasons. And this is another thing where I'm like, so Caitlin Clark picked up a tech that she had no right getting. She had no right at all to be teed up here. I mean that. None whatsoever. And this is what we heard. This is what we heard from Stephanie White. So when Paige Bueckers gets teed up for clapping, all it is, we're going to send it into the league. The tech, or Cheryl Reeve, I've heard her say this plenty of times, being like, look, we're going to send, that wasn't a tech, we're going to send it into the league. Tons of coaches have said that. Becky Hammond has complained about players getting teed up for no reason. Caitlin got teed up for no reason. And you can make the same argument, oh, Caitlin should have been teed up 50 times this season. And even though that one was bullshit, it kind of counteracts. It doesn't matter. First of all, you also have to take into account that a lot of Caitlin's techs are when she loses it from horrendous no calls. Like Stephanie White, Caitlin Clark dodged an elbow. Like, Alyssa Thomas tried to elbow Caitlin Clark in the face, and Stephanie White dodged it. Oh, sorry, Caitlin Clark dodged the elbow. And instead of saying hostile act, even not connecting, how many people realize if you swing at somebody and you miss, it's still a hostile act, right? Like, if that elbow connects, it's a flagrant 2. It's not a flagrant 1. It's nothing. It's a flagrant 2. She's out of the game, and it was called a defensive foul on Caitlin Clark. And Stephanie White is just silent. Caitlin's losing her mind. Stephanie White's silent. Like, as a coach, we saw it with Christy Sides a few times. Caitlin was about to lose her mind, and Christy Sides one time, Caitlin's getting into it with the ref. She sees the ref at the tear up, and Christy Sides runs onto the floor to start screaming at the ref in front of Caitlin Clark. So the ref teed up Christy Sides. Like, look, say what you want. I think Christy Sides was so far out of her depth as far as basketball is concerned. I also think Christy Sides, as far as the man management, was very good. I think she was good. I think there were parts of... I think I said this. You can listen to videos from me in 2024. I think Christy Sides is probably a fantastic assistant coach. She's not a head coach. She doesn't have the mentality. She doesn't have the adjustments. I can say she's a fantastic assistant coach. I don't know what Stephanie White is. Because let's take a listen to this.
About technical foul, the kind of skirmishes that happen in the game, how aware do you all have to make her, or she has to be about the 8 technical fouls and you get suspended for a game? That was her 5th tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be aware. Certainly, I think there are some that we could do without. There are natural things that happen that the energy of the game creates when you do get those. But there are some that we can be a little bit more in control of. And so yes, we'll continue to remind her. And I think she has to have an awareness.
Like again, this is one of those things where she's out there in a presser by herself. They took questions earlier. She's the least inspiring coach superstar I've ever seen. She's aware of a dumb response from this post. She's definitely aware. I'm more than happy to get the suspension. I don't blame her. Like, I'm being real. It's like, I really don't care. She's just another player. Like, Stephanie White, in 4 consecutive games, has challenged a call on Sophie Cunningham. Like, she has not challenged a call on Caitlin Clark in 2 seasons. Or maybe she did last year, but she hasn't this season. She has challenged calls on Sophie Cunningham in 4 consecutive games. I wonder if ever crossed her mind if she actually stood up for her players, it would decrease the text. Duh. Obviously. And I said here, way to pretty much guarantee the tech won't be rescinded. Because I don't think people realize, like, the odds of this tech being rescinded, especially because Caitlin comes out afterwards and is like, I mean, Like, it wasn't a tech. It wasn't a tech. Like, you might as well just pick a game for my suspension, because if that's a tech, then, like, dude, they're trying to suspend me. Like, Caitlin Clark's going to get a fine for that. And Stephanie White, the odds are, I would say that there is a decent chance that Caitlin Clark will get a fine, but the tech will get rescinded. Because let's be very real. You don't want your superstar crossing the Taurasi line for that. Like, especially because, like, you literally have LASIK. LASIK go viral on a daily basis, posting a bad call on Caitlin Clark and saying to WNBA referees that they can get free LASIK. Like, LASIK are using the fact that Caitlin's so bad, and Caitlin's refereed so bad against her. And now you essentially, as a coach, have said, in a situation where, by the way, Caitlin's probably about to get that tech rescinded. And in the coach pretty much saying, yeah, she deserved it. Yeah, she deserved it. I said, wait, a pretty much guaranteed a tech won't be rescinded. Because Paige Bueckers got a tech for doing the exact same thing rescinded. She started it by hooking DeWanna Bonner twice. She deserves a tech for taunting. She was hyping up the crowd to boo DeWanna Bonner. You are allowed to hype up a crowd to boo whoever the fuck you want. That is not against the rules. That is not against the rules. Where was she hyping up a crowd to boo DeWanna Bonner? Yeah. It is not against the rules to hype up a crowd. It is not against the rules to hype up a crowd. I cannot stress that enough. It is not against the rules to hype up a crowd. I can't wait till she's gone. Just shows she has zero intention of even attempt, because you pretty much think she deserves it. No interest in even trying to get Caitlin and Sophie's text rescinded. Like, Sophie Cunningham pointed. She pointed at somebody. Like, you're not going to get that tech rescinded, but, like, come on. I'm not Conspiracy FC, but I don't like her. I don't like her. I don't think that Stephanie White's is this plant put in there to ruin Caitlin Clark. I don't like her. I don't think she's a very good basketball coach. I don't think she's a very good basketball coach for this team. I think she's a good game planner. I think she's a good reactive coach. But when you've got a proactive superstar like Caitlin, a reactive coach doesn't work. I think there's an awful lot of... I think she thinks she's a bigger star than she is. I think she thinks she is the star of the Indiana Fever, when the reality is, like, the Indiana Fever would have the same record if they replaced her with, if Herb Simon took over and started using ChatGPT for all his decisions, the Fever would probably have the same record. All for response, if Stacey felt like the coach had her back, you stand up for her, she wouldn't stand up for herself. And the hilarious thing is that, like, Caitlin's come out and basically said it wasn't a tech. You can't team me up for that. And she basically goes, yeah, it was a tech publicly. And even if she believes this, which is fine, the fact that you can't even publicly defend your player ever, it is a refusal to defend her. Anytime Caitlin Clark has a bad game, she blames Caitlin Clark on a loss. Anytime Caitlin Clark has a good game, she does everything she can to congratulate somebody else or the team or the fist. Okay, yeah, you know, Caitlin, okay, we scored 3 points in the first quarter, and then Caitlin basically got us back into the game by herself. But we won because of the fist. Like, she didn't say that last night, but I'm just assuming what Stephanie was. I never forget, like, the funniest press conference ever was after they beat the Mystics, and they're like, oh, see, big shot. Sophie go past, and Caitlin and Sophie are trying not to laugh. It's just silence. They won a game winner, and it's just silence. I guess how many texts Steph has sticking up for her players so they don't have to go back for themselves? Probably zero. You have to back your star player in public. She never does. She has never publicly, whether it be on the floor or whether it be privately, based on everything Caitlin Clark has said, her and Steph White get along. She has backed Caitlin Clark. She has helped Caitlin Clark through things. Publicly, she has not backed Caitlin in anything. But anyway, see you guys.